विना ध्यानं जप्यं विना पूजादिभिः प्रिये विना बलिं विना अभ्यासं भूतशुद्ध्यादिभिर्विना विना क्लेशादिभिर्देवी देहदुःखादिभिर्विना सिद्धिरशुभवेत् स्मत् सर्वोत्तममता.
One can attain the siddhi of Tara by just remembering her with utmost devotion, without doing meditation, ritualistic chanting, worship, sacrifice, and also without cleansing surroundings, even without mental concentration. Whenever a person calls her in distress, she will immediately extend her help. She is the Great Mother. Tara is the second Shakti in Dashamahavidyas. There are several stories in Puranas depicting Tara. Some opine that she is the goddess of Buddhism, and sage Vashishta learnt her sadhana in Tibet, came back and popularized it in India. In Buddhism, she is considered as the Shakti of Avalokteshvara. In Mahayana Buddhism, she is depicted as the mother of Buddha and Bodhisattva. Jainism also refers to Tara. Shvetambara Jina mentions Bhrukuti, one of the forms of Buddhist Tara, as the Shasana Devata of 8th Jina, Chandraprabha. We also find the references of Tara in Hindu scriptures. During Samudra Manthana, the churning of milky ocean, to possess Amrita, the nectar, gods and demons churned the ocean using mountain Meru as the churning device and Vasuki or the serpent god as the rope. During process of churning, several objects which were concealed in the ocean came out, and along with that, powerful poison also oozed out. Shiva consumes the poison and protects the universe. But Shiva, due to the effect of poison, falls unconscious. Immediately, Devi manifests as Tara, takes Shiva on her lap and breastfeeds him with the antidote. But as per Todala Tantra, Shiva, also called Nilakantha, as his neck turns blue due to poison, is unperturbed by pain or delight and hence called Akshobhya. There are references of Akshobhya's Shakti being Tara. Similarly, any poisonous thought in the mind would be neutralized by the power of Tara.
There is a reference of Tara in Lalitopakhyaana. It mentions about a pond of nectar on the way to Lalita Devi or Tripura Sundari's palace and everyone being ferried by a boat. Several goddesses would be continuously moving around in the boats. Tara, who is also known to control the huge waves of water, resides in the pond as a self-effulgent goddess. Tara is also Bhavatarini. She uplifts people drowned in the mundane world through knowledge. She carries Akshobhya on her head. The rishi of her mantra is also called Akshobhya. She helps us to get rid of 3 types of problems: physical, destiny determined, and problems generated by physical comforts. In Brahmanda Purana, she is said to guard the pond of mind, and nobody can cross it without her permission. In Sanskrit, Tara is also known as a star. On a dark night, stars are known to show the path. Similarly, Tara is known to show the path of knowledge.
Mahavidya Tara can be invoked by this Rigveda mantra.
गौरीर्मिमाय सलिलानितक्षत्येकपदी द्विपदी सा चतुष्पदी अष्टापदी नवपदी बभूषी सहस्राक्षरा परमे व्योमन्.
Here, Gauri is referred to as Vak or speech, which is Shabda Brahman. Vak can comprehend everything. It is because of Vak or name that every object in the world gets into transaction. So, everything which comes into being has a name. Ekapadi is Shabda Brahman, the single word. All the manifested words before manifestation are found in unmanifest and undifferentiated form in this Ekapadi. It has only one form and found in only one place, which is the root or the main source. Dvipadiya is the two padas with the varieties noun and verb. Chatushpadiya comprises of 4 divisions: name, adjective, prefix, and interjection. Ashtapadiya is 8 cases, including vocative. These 8 cases, along with preposition, becomes Navapadi. It can also be perceived as the unlimited, innumerable Sahasrakshara Vak or speech generated from the 9 regions of the body, such as umbilicus, head, neck, and the like. Akshara Vidya of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad can be extrapolated to Mahavidya Tara. Once, King Janaka planned to perform a great yajna. Before that, he arranged a contest and announced 1,000 cows as prize to whosoever is found to have highest expertise in Vedas and Vedangas. After few moments of silence, sage Yajnavalkya says to his disciples to take away all the cows to the ashram. Enraged by his act, all the scholars present there asked Yajnavalkya to prove his expertise by answering their questions. After many questions put forth by the scholars to Yajnavalkya, Rishika Gargi asks, if sky or space is the support for everything, then what is space made of? Then Yajnavalkya answers, Yetat vai tadaksharaha, meaning, this is the real sthira or immutable. This is neither gross nor subtle, neither short nor long. This is the real Akshara Jnanam or knowledge of speech, the Akshara Brahman. Tantra calls this Akshara Brahman as Mahavidya Tara.
Devi Tara denotes sentiment and emotion. People doing upasanas are bestowed with good improvement in learning and strong oratory skills. Tantra says, Om, the Pranavanada or primordial sound is Tara or Taraka Mantra, and she is the energy behind its pronunciation. In Vedas, this Omkara is called Pranava and also Akshara. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it is called Akshara Brahman, and in Puranas as Gauri. Whoever chants Omkara repeatedly would be released from the worldly, materialistic shackles and bestowed deliverance. Devi Tara is worshipped in different forms. Devi Ugratara is portrayed as sitting on a corpse and is known to destroy the ignorance of all the three worlds, which is filled in the skull bowl held in her hand. She is worshipped with a mantra Om Hrim Stream Hum Phat. Since she is ferocious, she is bound to protect her devotees from all dangerous circumstances. She is of the color red, holds a sword, a spear, and a bowl in her three hands, and her fourth hand is in blessing posture. Devi Neela Saraswati is the primordial sound, the cause of the whole universe. She is the one who takes a being from darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge. She is worshipped by the three-lettered mantra Hrim Stream Hum.
Devi Ekajata unites the unorganized sound vibrations formed during creation, ties them into her locked hair, and disperses them in a uniform, harmonious way. She is worshipped by the mantra Hrim, Stream, Hum, Phat. Besides, Tara is also called Shukla, Neela, and Chitra. While doing the sadhana of Shukla, some practices have to be followed. The Upasaka has to chant Vedas, abstain from telling lies, talk only whenever and whatever is required, and sometimes has to practice silence. In sadhana of Chitra, one has to accept both praise and abuse equally, must experience sound produced both in rhythmic poetry and commotion equally, which means one has to perceive the knowledge of nada behind all these sounds. Both consonant and dissonant notes in music should be appreciated equally. Likewise, the emotions embedded in songs and the sorrows of people should be experienced. One should not get attached to sound nor discard it. Hence, the worshipper of Tara should always be mentally composed. Like Kali, Tara is also depicted as standing on Shiva, who is in sleeping posture, sometimes as standing or kneeling down on Shiva, who is in prostrating posture. Usually, Tara is depicted either naked or covered with animal skin, leaving long unbraided hair, wearing a garland of skulls and serpents as ornaments.
Tara has 4 arms and holds lotus, scissors, skull, and sword in her hands. Like Kali, she also indicates resolution. If Kali is known to resolve everything in time, Tara resolves everything in fire. Hence, she is depicted as encircled with fire in cremation grounds. This means she purifies with fire and is known to transform from life to death or from one dimension to another. Here, the depiction of fire can also be interpreted as burning previous karmas of living beings. The garland of skulls depict the sound of syllables. She is considered as the Kriya Shakti or power of action of the sound form in Moola Prakriti and is referred as Shabda Brahman. The string of severed hands tied around her loin depicts that she removes all the previous karmas and gives deliverance from the mundane world. The sword and scissors in her hands indicate cutting of the delusion and ignorance. Amply filled breasts and hips in full denote her maternal instincts. In Tara Yantra, the Bhupura indicates crossing the ocean of samsara or mundane world. Inside the Bhupura, there is an 8-petaled lotus which depicts the 8 forms of nature: sky, air, fire, water, earth, mind, intellect, and ego. Then comes the upward facing triangle, which depicts the removal of fear and also represents speech. Human beings have 14 primary nadis or channels in their body, and the Saraswati nadi ends in the tongue. Normally, it is believed that Goddess Saraswati resides in tongue and she is the power of speech. The triangle in the yantra depicts this principle. Inside the triangle, Devi Tara resides in the form of Bindu.
Normally, Tara's primordial letter Om is written with honey on the tongue of infants. This ritual is believed to make the children get well educated and also develop great oratory skills.
सर्व एव शुभः कालो न शुभो वर्तते क्वचित् न विशेषो दिवारात्रो न सन्ध्याया महानिशि.
Everything is auspicious in this world which is created by God. There is nothing like inauspicious time. Auspicious would be the time when we think of God. One should always keep remembering God. Similarly, Mahavidya Tara is considered as Nityavak. She is the Nada residing in everyone's heart and is considered as the ever-meditating, effortless Ajapajapa mantra. When a mantra is chanted repeatedly, then it is called Japa, and a mantra, when chanted repeatedly on its own without any effort, is called Ajapajapa. So, Mahavidya Tara can be worshipped relentlessly without any particular restrictions like time, place, postures, and so on. There is a belief in Tantra that no other deity can bestow boons like Mahavidya Tara.
The composition that implies the features of Mahavidya Tara is Nilotpalamba Jayati, composed by Sri Muthuswami Dikshitar. This kriti is in the raga Narayana Gaula and is set to Mishra Ekatala. Muthuswami Dikshitar, one among the trinity of Carnatic music, was a Gnani, a Srividya Upasaka, and a great composer. He says in this composition, Goddess Bhavani, the mother of Shanmukha, is also called Nilotpalamba. She is the mother who wards off our ignorance and blesses with eternal happiness. The beautiful Shankari, the wife of Kameshwara, has a third eye on the forehead. Though she holds in her hands noose and a goad to punish the evils, she is very kind to pious people. She is an expert in eradicating the disease called samsara, the worldly illusion. Dikshitar in this Kriti prays Gauri to be delighted with the raga Narayana Gaula and bestow happiness in the mundane world and also liberation from the ocean of worldly existence.
शिवका